Hello and welcome back to VR, welcome back to Google Earth, and welcome back to Portsmouth's historic dockyard as we stand in front of HMS Warrior, an ironclad which is still on the water, funny enough. Of all the other boats in the dockyard, this one is still floating. The other ones are in dry dock, but this used to sail the world and with its cannons and go, "Hello, what are you doing here then?" and then shoot people with its guns, because that's what the Royal Navy used to do. I mean, it still does to an extent, but not quite like this. This is the HMS Victory. It is a ship of the line, Nelson's flagship. It was comparable, in fact, I think the sister ship to HMS Bellerophon. There is a white flag on the back, which is the Royal Navy's white ensign. The flag on the front is, in fact, the Union Jack. It's only called a Union Jack if it's on a Navy vessel or a boat. If it's on a building or in a courtyard, then it is not. It is called the Union flag. That's just it. The tops of the mast are taken off because it's undergoing restoration, and in front of us is, well, that's the Statue of the Kiss. Why are we here, by the way? Oh, yeah, nobody told me where to go in the world, so I thought, well, I'll just stick to the areas that I know that have height map data and street views. So we're going to be going to Oregon, which you know if you've read the title of the video. The Kiss, by the way, these two didn't know each other. She was a nurse working in an office and he was a sailor, and it was VE Day, and she came down from the office and said, "Oh, what's going on here then?" He grabbed her, gave her a smooch. There was a photographer, took a picture, and a lot of people would go, "Oh, they're so in love." No, they didn't know each other, and I think she had a boyfriend at the time. So she was like, "Yeah, I don't know him. He's just a dude, just some dude." Also, this here, this grey building is very, very important if you're into Tudor history, because that's the Mary Rose, or what's left of the Mary Rose, on her yellow cradle, which she was pulled out of the sea on. Very, very important if you're into Tudor history or anything to do with King Henry VIII, because this was King Henry VIII's flagship. And half of it is missing because half of it was buried in the silt of the Solent. The other half rotted away. Very few people got off it when it sunk. It sank because they cut new cannon portholes next to the waterline. She was overloaded with troops, went out to meet the French, hit sort of a gentle breeze, tipped over and sank, which is a cautionary tale, but it is very important because it is full of Tudor artifacts from day-to-day living. If you want to know anything about Tudor life, it probably comes from this wreck. Also, the nice glass gantry and everything never used to be here. When she was first here, she was being sprayed with water and wax to preserve the wood, to stop it expanding and just falling apart. And if you were here in the early years, you would come down into this dry dock, and you would literally just be walking along the walls on gantries, getting sprayed along with the boat. So that was fun. Anyway, this isn't Oregon. This is the United Kingdom. These are historical Navy vessels. So one of the issues with Google Earth VR is you're gonna need some height map data, and you're gonna need reliable street view. I was looking at Uganda just because I was interested in it, and one of the issues was that there's basically no street view data. Portland in Oregon, which means that's probably Mount Hood. It is. Let's go and have a look at Mount Hood, and then have a look at Portland, and then look at Astoria. Wait, what? So if we can find street view data from the top of this mountain as we land upon it. Yes, the Rockies in Oregon. You'll know this from the Oregon Trail, the video game, which you probably played when you were a kid and said, "Oh, everyone's dead, Dave," because they were all dead. Mount Hood. Boom. Yeah, this is pretty good. Pretty high res. So as we look around, we see the sun, the Earth's closest star, ball of protons and helium and hydrogen, and basically a nuclear furnace that everyone doesn't take seriously and goes, "It's okay, I just tan, I don't burn." Yeah, well, UVA and UVB are gonna still wreck your skin. No matter what color it is, you're still gonna need protection from it because the sun don't care if you're gonna melt you. UVA is UV aging, UVB is UV burning, UVC is only effective if you happen to be an astronaut in space. That's my scientific analysis of that. Oregon's a beautiful place though. So they tried to pull carts over the Rockies, and sometimes they kind of failed, especially if you happen to be in parties like, oh, I don't know, the Donner Party. Where's Portland likely to be? Oh, I don't know. So the Donner Party, they kind of got stuck. They got a little bit stuck, and they were like, oh no, we're trying to get to Oregon, and yeah, they had a bit of an issue. Got stuck in the winter weather because they tried to take a shortcut, didn't quite work, and ended up eating each other. So that's fun. Oh, the trains! Oh, this looks like a cargo. No, this looks like a cargo depot. Portland, Oregon. My first view of it is warehouses. Excellent. Brilliant. Cool. Glad we could see that. Let's go and find something else. If we ended up in Portland in Oregon, would we want to buy a house here? The answer is... That's not updated the Street View data. The answer is... Yeah. Yeah. That's lovely. Don't know what the cars are, but that house looks really nice. And they have a yard. Wait, how is the yard? Who owns that? Oh, I guess it's a small yard, unless these guys have the one with the trees and these guys have the one with the cut grass. Don't know. Really don't know. Oh, that's lovely as well. Yeah, so one of the things being European is that I like trees. I like trees, I like hills, I like the sea, because one of the things is in the United Kingdom, you're never more than 60 miles from the sea. And it probably confuses a lot of people who aren't from, live on larger continents. They're like, "Ooh, we live in a large continent, why do you need to be near the sea, you?" And I'm like, well, because it's wet and interesting and scary. I mean, the sea, yes, it scares me. Oh, they got cycle paths. What? That's a very Brooklyn. I don't think you're going to be cycling to actual Brooklyn. Brooklyn in, well, that's the opposites. They got a roundabout for bikes. What? America, you surprised me. I came back to America, came back to Oregon thinking we were not going to find anything too different from Ohio or Texas. And immediately you surprised me. Why have you been keeping that? So yeah, it's 60% of the viewers of this channel come from the United States. For everyone else, we see this on television. We see television programs. Basically, our understanding of the US and how everyone lives over there comes from things like Frasier and The Warriors, the film The Warriors, and, well, yeah, stuff like that. Friends. I mean, you guys live in monstrously large apartments in the middle of the city and you order out food every day because nobody apparently cooks over there. So far, all these houses are really lovely. I love this. This is beautiful. These houses are huge. Again, huge houses. Willows, beautiful. Oak, yeah. So Portland in Oregon, you so far have been kind of interesting. We also, here's a little thing that's very different to the UK compared to America. I think this is an industrial area. It's very hard to tell if this is industrial or not. Oh, it's got a choo-choo train going through the middle of it. So where do you guys buy food? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. A mall. All right, cool. So I was looking around Texas and, pet shops. I was looking around Texas and I was just like, okay, it seems like every store has its own plot and every plot has its own car park. So you just drive right up to the store. Instead of having something like this where you have a shared car park and lots of different stores arranged around the outside of the car park, kind of in a mall structure, or you just park in town and then go and find the shops. I like the fact that they've got height map data for all the cars as well. That's kind of cool. Can we see other shops? Okay, Dollar Tree. I know Dollar Tree. I know the name of it. I don't know what they do there. Apparently it's really expensive for food and stuff because it's not as cheap as people think it is, and then all the smaller stores, they can't exist with Dollar Tree because everyone goes and buys stuff there. That's what I've heard, but I don't know. What are you? What are you? Eye health. We're not going to cover health in America. It's a dodgy subject. Dodgy subject. I mean, the short of it is, if I get sick, I just go to the doctors, and the doctors go, all right, I'm going to put a thermometer up your butt, yo, and yeah, it doesn't cost anything. Trees. House. Oh, I like that. I don't know why. It's got to be the trees and then the house. It's a brown house. So what? Yeah, but you've got the trees to go with it, and it makes it all nice. Oh, I am liking Portland. And the cycle lane. Yeah, I honestly, I didn't think we would see stuff like cycle lanes in America. America. We're back in the same place because, yeah, apparently this hasn't updated yet. There we go. All right, church, I guess. Yep. Unless that's, I'm not entirely sure. Churches do exist in the United Kingdom, but they are not such a large part of life. This is love. I like that garden. Oh yeah, no, I'm all in. I'm all into that. Good. All right. So Portland in Oregon. Would I come and live here? Yeah. Look at this place. This is beautiful. There's trees everywhere. Oh, nice. What are you? I bet you're another church. I don't think that's where we are. No. No, this isn't where we are, although this does look like a film set with the basketball hoop. Kind of, yeah. And the vans. All right, okay. Let's flip up the world and get dizzy because, you know, that's just what happens. So Portland, Oregon, Vancouver. Vancouver in Oregon. What? Oh, I've got to have a look. I don't... What? Alright. You got a bridge. And docks. Wait, are these docks? What's going on here? What is going on here? Oh, it's not giving me Street View data. So are these just houses are these floating houses? What? What witchcraft is that? What? What? Okay, no, I don't. This. Oh. Wait, is this like Sleepless in Seattle? No, I don't see anything. We're back in the butthole of a warehouse. Fire exit do not block. Well, cool. Cool. There must be all that down there. Yeah, oh, can we see it from here? No. Oh, but there's houses on boats. Why you have something so interesting and then we can't see it? Oh, that sucks. Oh, maybe we can see it from here. Let's do this. Nope, no Street View data. Fly slow. Oh, because it's a railway bridge. All right, Vancouver. If that is your real name. Boop. Yeah. All right. Cool. Willows, trees, truck route. Probably don't want to live on the truck route. Just feels like it might be wrong. What's over here? Oh, these look like new houses. Ooh. Wait for. No, Street View's not updating. Oh, it is updating. Okay. Hey, dude. Yeah, this is why you don't want to be building all the houses that look the same, because it looks like you're in a nightmare. Yeah, no. I mean, some people have painted the fascias of their houses different colors, but yeah, you really don't want them looking the same, like identical houses. Ooh, okay. I mean, nothing wrong with the actual buildings, but made them look a little bit different, maybe? Also, tents on the driveways. I'm assuming that's to protect the cars from the weather, because it probably gets wet here. That's what I'm assuming. All right. We're not here to look at the international airport of Vancouver. Let's have a look at the international airport of Vancouver in Oregon. Delta Hawaiian. Delta is probably the airline, and Hawaiian is probably the pizza that they serve, which, I mean, it's just the front of an airport, isn't it? Neat. Okay. Let's find Astoria, because that's what I'm really interested in, and whatever that is. So if we move out, yeah, pineapple on pizza. People seem to think that is like a debate. It's not a debate. Pineapple goes on pizza. I mean, why would it not? So why are we in Astoria, where there's basically bugger all height map data? And you might say to yourself, this looks stupid. Why have you come here? Are you a witch? And I'm going to say no, but also yes. Because one of the reasons I am interested in coming here is this and that. Let me show you something a second. That might look a little bit better. And you might say, it doesn't look better at all. Well, what about, oh, we can't really see the bridge. What about if I go further this way? Boop. Can we see the bridge from here? Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can. So what about now? Why are you in Astoria in Oregon? Well, this is because this is where all the 80s films were made. If you want to know where Short Circuit was made, it was made in Astoria in Oregon. Kindergarten Cop, Astoria, Oregon. The Goonies, Astoria, Oregon. Free Willy, the one with the whale. Astoria, Oregon. This is what I think of when I look at America. When I think of America, it's just like, there's a cat. There's a cat. I bet he's a good cat. Yeah. It's houses like this with the shingles and the blue and the push bike, and it's kind of looking a little bit like Explorers territory. You know, the one with a very young Ethan Hawke. Wait, Explorers, the film? Yeah, Explorers, the film, and the trucks. Look at that! Look at that truck! That is just an American truck. It's a pickup. It looks like ass, but that's kind of what you expect, being European. I think there's not that much in the way of street view around here because of all the films that were made here, and because of like film tourism. A lot of people are like, no, we don't want tourists coming up here and looking at all the stuff. Can we get, I don't know if we can find any of the famous houses. I wouldn't even know what they look like now. So Short Circuit is a film, well, certainly not around here, because we can see that from over here, I think. Yeah, I think the street view data is going to be quite limited. Oh, wait, no, this is looking promising. So I think it's one of these houses, because you can see the bridge from basically this angle. And it's a lot of it's set in Astoria. Is there anything interesting here? No, not really. Apart from the fact they filmed a lot of films here. Is it like culturally interesting? Not really. Is that bridge crazy AF? Well, yeah, actually it is. Why would you make it so tall here? But if we go across here to this point here, boop. It's basically on the water, so it just dips down onto the water over there and raises up here. That's so you can allow large ships underneath without having to have a mechanism to raise it up and lower it. It does mean, of course, that if the large ships hit the supports, that thing is going to end up in the sea. But, you know, that's just something that happens. Do we have height map data for over here? The opposite side of the water. There's probably some, I guess. No height map data. So we got a trailer park, bridge under new ownership. Is that a trailer park, or is that just somewhere where people camp, a camping spot? No idea. So Oregon, yeah, kind of interesting place. That last piece of bridge, and then the bridge over there across the river, whatever it isn't, just like an estuary. And if we go, well, I tell you what, let's go along here and just have a look at the world from the freeway. I say free. Oh, look at that house. Shut up. That's a beautiful house. Surrounded by trees, it's got a garage. Yeah, that is perfect. It's got a little thing that you have to drive off the road to, and the bin trucks can go across the... That is beautiful. I love it. I love all the trees. I mean, it probably plays hell with the phone cables and everything. Yeah, yeah. So when you say, oh, what do you think of when you look at when you think of America? Yeah, basically the area around Astoria in Oregon. This is what you think of as a European when you think of America. Huh? Is that a Holiday Inn? All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and just drive on a bit. Google Street View. Yeah, for the longest time I thought this was Maine. I thought this was on the opposite coast. I thought, oh, all the films in America are filmed in Maine, like Bigfoot and The Warriors, and yeah, there's no hype updated. The bridge isn't like properly built or anything. So what's here? Boop. It's a very European road, as in kind of narrow, kind of blind. And there's a little farmstead. It's got itself a barn and a house. I love these houses. I just love the fact that they're all unique and higgledy-piggledy, and there's just stuff out the front. It's just like, yeah, this is where we live. And the dormer windows in the top. And the trees. I love the trees. Although I suspect the trees are going to be different to, like, represent something different to people who live there. So you probably have things like lynx and stuff, and bears and what have you, just in the area. Can we see anybody's houses from here? No, not really. We can see the sea. Wait, that is the sea. Oh, it is the sea. All right, let's flip up the world. Flip it around and then zoom out a little bit. Okay, there we go. So we can't go too far north of Astoria because we end up in Washington, and then we go too far north of Washington, we end up in Canada, Salem. Now this is not Salem in Massachusetts, so this will be a different Salem. So they probably didn't set fire to any witches here. This is Oregon, or did they? I don't know, because a lot of people who came over from Europe were pilgrims, and the pilgrims were the sort that were persecuted in Europe, and they were like, well, if we're going to be persecuted in Europe, we're just going to go over to America and start a new life here, which is why a lot of pilgrims turned up. Houses in Salem in Oregon are exactly what you would expect. They are, in fact, detached, wooden, kind of 1 or 2 stories, interesting paint jobs in terms of colors and stuff. Yeah, we could be back in Oregon? Nope, Ohio at this point. 90-minute parking. Once per day. All right. Residential permit accepted. What? I mean, who is going to be... What? How are they going to have such a... What? What's nearby that they're going to have a problem with parking? Is this a restaurant? Nope. Yep, there we go. Updated. Dunno. I mean, you could fit cars 2 abreast on the side of the road and still not have a problem with parking because... oh, maybe it's the church. Maybe people are like, oh, you know what? That's a nice house. The garden, I think the gardens make it. The garden and the surround make the church, yeah. Church? House. Why do... Okay. 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 What do we got here? Main Street. Buildings, that looks like it might be a... hospital? Coles? Factory. Factory? Or, I don't know what that is. Oh no, it looks like a shopping mall. Okay, cool. Let's head this way. Macy's. What's a Macy's? I've heard of it. Is it a shop that sells like chips? Salem Center. This is a shopping center. But everyone's parked on the road. What? Oh, maybe that's what they mean by you need a thing. There's no trams here and there's no cycle routes. There is a multi-story car park. Is that the first multi-story car park we've seen? I believe it might be. Okay. And Columbia Bank. Right. Okay, cool. Ooh. Hello. What are you... Chrysler. I know what it is. We got a few of those in the UK. Kind of big and chunky and don't really go around corners very well. Whoa. Everything's just like, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, all right. What do we got here? Good. Old style architecture, masonry. Several, I mean, it's not as high as it could be. There was an issue before skyscrapers, and that was that masonry buildings could only be so many stories high before the weight or the pressure on the bricks on the lower stories was too much and they would crumble under their own weight. This is lovely, but also incredibly wide streets. Like, how are you supposed to cross from once? There's no traffic lights. Oh, there are traffic lights there, but no pedestrian lights? How are you supposed to cross as a pedestrian? Did you just take your life in your hands and run? I guess so. That Capitol Tower probably is the limit of what a masonry building can get up to without having steel reinforcement and concrete and all the other stuff. Well, well, well. Oregon, Metro. What? Metro? Oh, okay. Oh, clothiers. Ah, this is a high street and there's shops. And you still can park in front of them. Weird. All right. I recognize Subway, but we have Subway as well. They make a sandwich and it's kind of like, it's a sandwich, and it's like, all right, cool. I think Street View, I think Google's having a problem at the moment. Yeah, everything's getting a bit stuttery, so I'm going to leave it there for the time being. If you like this, definitely leave a little like, leave a subscribe. If you do subscribe, click the little bell because I give you notifications when videos go live. If you have an idea of where to go next, then leave it down in the comments. If you want to see something specific, just say something in the comments. And I'll tell you what, I'll catch you next time.